Hi, my name is Emma Sutton and this is my video analysis of preliminary task 2. Our task mainly was to create a 30-second to 1-minute opening of a film, but we had to put titles in. So when we thought about brainstorming for this task, the main thing we thought about was genre. What sort of genre of film did we want to create? And really we went through a lot of possibilities. I mean, one thing we looked at was comedy, but then we thought sometimes there's a fine line between things being funny and things just being naff, so we decided not to do that. We also looked at horror or sci-fi, but we thought in the conditions we had to work with and the effects that we had to work with, that just wouldn't work because we couldn't create any sense of the supernatural at all. So we thought about a thriller and we thought that would be good because we could build tension. So the first thing we thought about was a psychological thriller, which in the end is what we decided to do. I think we decided to do this because we thought that we could maybe portray the madness of a girl through film, basically, and we thought that her madness could somehow relate to the titles. So we sort of looked at what we could do, and we looked at what we could do with this genre, and we thought it would be a really good one. We thought it would be a bit of a challenge, but basically we thought that a challenge would be good. We also looked at different locations where we could film our film. We wanted a sort of corridor place which would look like a mental home or a mental asylum. So we sort of were looking for somewhere quite blank so as not to distract the audience attention. First of all we found like the theatre corridor of our college, which is completely black, which we thought would be really good. Like maybe to a connotation of the blackness of her mind sort of thing. And we also looked at some other places as well. Well, then we storyboarded our idea, and we wrote down the exact shots of what we were going to do. We also put in the shots where we were going to put the titles, and we wrote down the titles so that we knew what they were and what we were doing with them. Yeah, I found the storyboarding bit quite helpful because it made it so we had a plan for when we started filming. Yeah, we wanted it to be quite organised so we knew what we were doing. That was the idea, really. Yeah, so in the end, basically, our idea was to have this girl, and this girl was in a corridor, the corridor of a mental home, and as she walked down the corridor, all sort of strange things were happening to her, and it was meant to be from her point of view, from her insane mind, basically. And so we thought we could put in like men in white coats and all these kind of things, which would give you the connotation of a mental person in a mental home, which is what we really wanted. Yeah, we thought that this would be good as well because we could put her in different positions, so we could specify where we were going to put the titles. For instance, we've got one shot where her head is down here against like a white screen, and then we've got the title of the film here, which we planned like to work like that, which we thought was good, really. So we went to the corridor we were going to use, but unfortunately it was already being used by a theatre group, so we couldn't use that, so we had to search somewhere, which was a bit of a problem for us. But in the end we found a corridor which I think worked just as well, if not better, because even though it was white, not black, that gave the sense of a mental home that we wanted. And also it had light coming down from one side, which I think gave a really nice effect on our piece. Yeah, and it had sort of doors and things, and I think it looked more hospitalised. It also had the white, which I think would be better for putting on the titles, because we'd already decided that we wanted black titles to keep it simple. In the editing process, I'd say, was where we did most of our work. First of all, we uploaded all the footage onto the computer, and we captured all the shots that we wanted. And because every shot we did, we took 3 different shots of it exactly the same, and we had to choose which one was the best, which I think was really helpful because a couple of shots were a bit dodgy. So yeah, we did that, and we captured everything and put it up. We then placed it along the timeline and cut it so that there was good match on action between the scenes that we wanted to have match on action. Some problems we came across. I think one of the main problems was the sound, because there was a problem with our diegetic sound. So when we came to doing it, we had to put non-diegetics in, which we kind of planned on doing anyway, but I think we had to use it a lot more than we'd bargained on, which in a way I think when we'd created the piece made it look a bit like a music video in a way, because there was no diegetic, so you kind of got the sense that there was nothing actually going on. It was just watch this and listen to the music sort of thing. We also had a problem with our titles when we put them on, because we wanted them to fade in and out of the shot. So when we tried to do this, we got the effect wrong, so they came in and out really quickly, which was a real problem, and we couldn't sort it out. So basically the titles came up quickly and didn't really give you a chance to read it. There was also a problem with the font of the titles because the person who was doing them changed halfway through. So basically it was in a different font, which was pretty awful. Yeah, so overall, I think that the titles were too short. Also, we used a popular piece of music, we used Radiohead, so I think that that sort of could have put connotations in that we didn't mean to have there, which we never really realised about. Yeah, but like I said, the concept was good, the idea was good, but I'm not sure if we pulled it off.